welcome to Home Repair and Modification. This is an overview of the Canvas course and what I've created to date. My third attempt, because they seem to go way too long because I like to show the pictures. So this is a before picture and an after picture of my living room at home along with some of the pictures. The nice thing about this is while I was on the road, I was able to get a lot of this documented, videoed, and things before I took off. So the first thing you're going to notice is the ceiling. It's quite a bit different. There's you can see some speakers in the background. They've been removed. I put ceiling speakers in. The ceiling fan, there's actually in the left picture a chain hanging down from one because there was some water damage to the lighting and a bunch of the fixtures in the house from some water leak that we had, and I replaced the ceiling fan. And then over where the TV is in the picture on the green, the left TV, because there's a second one there, there's a TV niche where you're supposed to be able to recess and put like an armoire back in that area. And I enclosed it and I made it into an art niche. Floors were changed out. I'm not going to cover that in this project, but all this happened in about a 3-week period. So I started this in January, right about the time the course started, and then I went to town and hit the road and couldn't do any more projects. So now that you've heard what we're going to do, let's show what it looks like. So we start with the welcome page. After you see it, it tells you a little bit about the course, what you need to do to get going on it. Tells you a little bit about the goals and objectives in the class. It tells you about the grading and how the course is put together with the different modules. I got a little space there I need to remove. And as it goes through, it's going to kick you back into safety right after the work policy. I guess say who you are first, and then it's going to go into the safety module. So at this point, let me back out, and I'm going to come back to the module section here. Let me pause it real quick. Okay, I removed my picture so you can actually see the whole thing. So when you have the modules, you can see it's laid out into your introduction module, the how to set up a project, how to do safety, how to do drywall, and some small projects in it. Then I start dealing with like light fixtures, how to put speakers in, how to change a ceiling fan. So I'm taking this into more of a maintenance area. And you'll also see when you're going through these that there's prerequisites for these that'll pop up. So you have to have done the drywall fixture first. There's one missing here that I need to set up drywall. There's the safety one. And the lighting fixture needs to have safety on it, so I'll fix that in a minute. Medium projects, talk about converting a space. This is not done. I haven't finished it. That's at the end of the course. But where you're really going to start noticing things is like drywall instructions, the way the modules are laid out. I think I've done a decent job of it. Let me pause it and let that load. There we go. I've got a video that I've created. So this whole section is a series of videos and pictures that I've taken that I uploaded here, and it'll load the video.
This project,
talking about what they need, the tools, the safety, and goes through it. And then it goes through the module. It's laid out for objectives, what you need, and then it shows you step by step how to do different things as you're running through it. Yeah, it's probably going to make you dizzy to run through it. And then we get to the end of it where we've got the activities, and they actually show a real hole in a wall instead of just a piece of drywall that I made some repairs in. And there's so many different techniques. There's not really a wrong way to do it as long as you get the hole covered. So my little short 1-minute videos that show different sections and how to talk about it are all in place there. The assignment goes through, I want a picture before, I want a picture after, and I want you to turn it in for credit. There's a discussion that talks about some of the problems you might have had when you're doing it. And then there are quizzes. Let me go ahead and take you over to the quiz. Okay, quizzes, for instance, I'm going to go ahead and preview it. So we'll go ahead and run it. It's got a series of questions. It's going to ask 5 of the questions out of it. And if you miss it, it'll score you. I think you have to have an 80% on it. The safety quiz was a little bit different, where you have to have a perfect score, because if you don't know how to be safe, you're not going to be able to proceed on the course. So we make you get 100% on that one. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and turn in the drywall quiz, and it'll tell me how many I got right, how many wrong. And there's a pool of questions that it pulls from. I got 2 out of 5. So evidently I wouldn't be very good with drywall. This was the tool safety one that came just before the drywall, and I wanted to show it. It's divided into 2 parts. And these have third-party videos that I went out and added them in. It still gives you your objectives at the beginning of every module, so we know what we're covering. Here's one of the pictures from one of my projects where I have an actual project area with my drop cloth, all my tools, so I don't have to go back and get it. And then same thing, you've got some assignment things I put together, a quiz, a discussion board, principles and things that you'll want to know. This is an information thing for the course that I went through. Don't cut into walls if you're not sure what's behind it, things like that. And this is part 2 of that module, where it's more of the same thing. It gives you the objectives on what we're trying to do, what point, and then there's activities in here where you've got assignments. One thing you'll also notice at the end of my modules, each of them will have a quick links section where it gives you any assignments that were given out, discussions, quizzes, or whatever. So if you happen to have missed it in the content, they'll always be listed at the bottom. And here, this module here is really at the halfway point, because there's still more coming after it where I show spaces that have to be done. But this shows a couple of the projects like the ceiling speakers and the ceiling fan and what it takes to do them, and then shows pictures all the way through of what you'll actually need, and then discusses it all the way through the project until you have them all replaced, even running a wire. Same thing with the ceiling fan. I'm going to run through it pretty fast, changing it out, changing the wiring, taking some pictures, and setting it up. And then you get into the part where I'm still under construction, and that was the bigger projects. In this case, I'm going to scroll through it pretty fast. This was the wall niche where I detailed, hey, I've got a TV sitting over there, and I don't like the way it looks. So I put tape on the wall, I outline it, I measure it, I bring get my lumber, I bring everything in, start framing it. That's the closet side of it. And as it starts to take shape, I'm putting up drywall, I'm taping and bedding it, I'm blowing texture on it. I put a test coat of paint down, didn't like it, so I came back and I painted it differently. Then I painted the wall. This was painting not covered as part of it. And then you see what it looks like after I've framed it and put it in place. And the reason I show you that is right here in this module, I show those different steps and what it took to get there. And then there'll be an evaluation at the end of the course. But I have other material that I could add if I need to for content, but I think I'm pretty good.